Nummirock, and with me Satyr from Satyricon. Hello, how is it going for you guys at the moment?
We're doing well. We're looking forward to playing. We've been in almost in a studio limbo. I guess we've started recording the new Satyricon album about a month ago, and then we recorded drums for a couple of weeks, and we went to Sweden and played there, and we went pretty much straight from Los Angeles to Sweden, and as we were done with the drums, Frost stayed behind and rehearsed with the band. I went straight back to Los Angeles to record the guitars for the new album, and I actually came back from the US last night, and I had to go straight back to the airport this morning to fly out here and play Nummirock, so a little bit.
So have you had the time to sleep?
I had the time to sleep, but it's confusing because the time difference between here and Los Angeles is 10 hours.
So what can you say about the new material? What kind of stuff can we expect to hear?
It sounds really big, man. It's we feel almost like there's a milestone in the making, to be honest with you. It's you know, just have butterflies in the stomach and really feeling that, I don't know, sometimes, you know, like always when you go in there and record a new album, you feel like, okay, this is gonna be our best record ever, otherwise you shouldn't go and record it.
Yeah.
But this time, I must say, it feels really special. I mean, we haven't had so good sound in the recording so far. I mean, we felt going in that the songs were very much Satyricon songs, but they're so big, they sound so big and powerful, and I think they're really varied, they're very, very catchy songs. So
if you compare it to your previous album now,
can't really
the main difference?
I couldn't compare it to that or Volcano, but okay, the main difference is that I would say the grandness of the songs. I like this sounds almost epic, if you know what I mean, and also the production will be very different on this album. And also the tone of the sound is quite different. Perhaps a lot of these songs seem to be a little bit longer also than the songs on the Now Diabolical, but it's very varied, you know. You have some songs that are shorter songs, straight to the point, in your face, and there are also other songs which have many parts in them, and you know, everything from like really big sounding, almost orchestral sounding riffs to very, very slow and depressed to, you know, fast stuff. So it's really all shades and colors on this record.
Have you done something differently this time? Was it the traditional process?
Well, I mean, yes, we have done something drastically different in the way that we've actually gone. We've introduced a new way of tuning the guitars for us. I mean, Satyricon has always gone for. We started with the traditional black metal, just tuning our guitars in E, and I believe it was either Rebel Extravaganza or Volcano, where we started tuning the guitars to E flat, and on this new album we tuned the guitars in D. And to explain that to, you know, people who don't really play music themselves, I would say that tuning down to D as opposed to E flat makes the wall of guitars sound bigger and more chunky, and with a little bit of a darker tone, I'd say. But at the same time, it's not as full of sparkle and energy as E flat tuning, but it's darker, literally.
You will release the album on November 3rd through Roadrunner. How has the chemistry between you and the label been so far?
Right now it's not so good, but as an artist you always have, you know, certain there will be certain things that you discuss with your label where you disagree on how you should do things, and to be honest with you, I've been a little bit upset with Roadrunner in the last few months, and not so happy with the way they've been dealing about certain things, but I expect that to be straightened out. Roadrunner is a good label, and we've been happy with Roadrunner since we signed with them, but there is some things that have changed after Warner bought
Roadrunner,
and so far I haven't seen so many good things, but I've seen some bad things, and I don't like that. And Roadrunner, just like any other company, are struggling like the rest of the music industry with how things are going, and they have to adjust that, and that affects the artist in a bad way. So it's been frustrating at times, but all in all, they're good people, and fingers crossed that they still are interested in working very hard for this band. So I think, you know, once we get closer to the actual release of the album, I'll see them back on track the way I want them to be.
So a little bit about your live shows. Which show has been the best for you guys so far? The most memorable one?
That's hard. I mean, we've had some spectacular hometown shows. I felt that the show that we did in Oslo at the Rockefeller in Oslo at the release of Now Diabolical, that was a spectacular show. I also felt that we did a special show with the brass section from the Norwegian Broadcasting Orchestra and the Oslo Philharmonic Orchestra, the horns in Oslo. Actually, a couple of the songs from that recording are on our new EP, My Skin Is Cold, 2 live songs from that show in Oslo. We had a name for that show. We called it, that show was called the Jallarhorn, and from the Jallarhorn concert there are it's Repine Bastard Nation from Volcano and Mother North from Nemesis Divina with brass and everything on the EP. Those were memorable shows, despite the fact that I think Wacken Open Air is a crap festival. We had a great show when we played there in 2004.
Why do you think it's crap?
Because I think the people who run the festival suck, but there's nothing wrong about the people attending. Of course, they took part in creating a memorable show there. We played a show with Nocturnal Culto from Darkthrone, and it was very enjoyable for us on stage, and it was a huge moment, like sharing that with our fans.
Well, thank you really much for the chat, and good luck for tonight's show. Anything you want to say as a closer to your fans?
We should be back here somewhere between mid-November and January. At the moment, we're putting together the whole thing with European tour and, you know, Norwegian tour and US tour, and trying to make the pieces fall into their place. But as it looks now, Finland is a little bit uncertain, but trying to work that into the touring plan towards the end of the year or early next year, and that's always going to be a treat for both ourselves and hopefully our fans too, when we come back and do full-on headlining shows with a new album and everything, you know, new songs and new live show, everything. So,
well, thank you really much for the chat.
Thank you.